Yes guys, that's right, this series brings us back to one of my favourite places in the world, Golf Clubs for Cash, Europe's largest second-hand retailer. Today we are picking the most expensive golf set I can find and the most budget golf set I can find. We're going to put them both to the test, see exactly just how different they are going to be. We're going to kick things off with the cheapest set I can find. Make sure you hit that subscribe button guys and throw a like on this video if you want to watch this series, and I can't wait to get in there and see just what bargains I can find. It's going to be one of my favourite videos because I love buying expensive golf clubs. We all do if we have the budget. I also love cheap and cheerful golf clubs. So let's get in the showroom and see exactly what we can find. Now, if we are talking budget, this is always a great place to start. You can see here, you can get loads of different irons. You can probably match your setup if you do have the time. You can do this online or you can come to the store and find out. I might come back here and have a look, but I'm also going to have a look around the vast store and see what we can get. So I'm going to kick things off, like I said, with irons, then we're moving to wedges, putters, driver, hybrid. But for me, what do I want on a budget? I want this set to be as cheap and cheerful as possible, and then I want something mega expensive to test against. Right, let's look. I've always liked Mizuno irons. Can we get some cheap and cheerful ones here? I generally find the lower down you go here, a little tip for you, the cheaper you get, the higher up you get, you start to see the newer ones, even some in wrappers here, which you can get for a bit of a saving on brand new. What about some T-Zoids? What about T-Zoids, he said? £75. £75, that's not too bad. I think I can probably do cheaper than that, but you can see there, 3-iron right through to wedge, perfect shafts for me, S300s, and gorgeous Lampkin crossline grips. I'm going to leave these here as a little bit of a starting block, and I'll come back and put them back if I don't go for them. What else could we potentially look at for irons? Ping have always been known for good value. Oh, they look so good, but they're going to be maybe for the expensive one, not the cheap one. What can we go for here? Ping eyes, look at them. 149, 149, a collector's item now are the ping eyes. We'll put you back there. That's out of my budget for this video. What about some old Titleist irons? Where's Titleist? Titleist is here. Old Titleist blades could be the answer. I'm not necessarily going for the most forgiving, not necessarily going for a club that's going to help my game, just something a little bit nice on a budget. Ooh, I remember these bad boys. They're not Titleist, but they're going to be collector's items as well. Right, I think there's so much to choose from. I might have to have a look. You start to walk past and you think, you know, if I'm going to build a cheap budget bag, something like that, how much is that? That is £82.99, not too bad. I think we can probably do cheaper than that for a driving iron if we decide to go for a driving iron. Lots of driving irons on sale here, so we might revisit this. But guys, how much do you think you could build a good set for? We're not going to go for the worst set we can possibly buy, but we're going to go for pretty much the cheapest, which may well blend into. I had these. I love coming here because it's like a trip down memory lane. I had X14s as my first ever irons. They had steel shafts in them, but they're 133.99. A little bit too much. I think I can get irons for, if I went to the single iron one, probably 50 quid, and then try and keep the whole set under 150. That would be quite the achievement, wouldn't it? We've got loads of wedges to go at here a little bit later on. Tailor-made irons. What tailor-made irons can we get? Do we go proper old school like these bad boys, or do, oh look at these 360s, 360s. You know what, those initial irons aren't looking bad value. They're £100.99, 75 quid weren't they, the initial irons that we looked at. Let's have a quick look in the bargain rack at single irons and see maybe what we can put together. Remember, we're going to do an expensive set as well, which could be quite interesting. Do we want 1 iron? Probably not, because we're not that good. But say if we went 4 iron, we could just get a nice kind of tour preferred 4 iron. I'd want to match it up though. I mean, you can do this for cheap. That's £44.99, and you can get 3 for 2. So you can start to really build a nice budget set. I've come back here because I feel like it represents fantastic value, but I want it matching. I don't necessarily want the best cheap set, but I don't want lots of mishmash, because you then have to start looking at lofts and lies and lengths. You can do that if you are on a budget. You can do that and match a good setup here, but you have to do your research and take your time, something which I've never really done throughout my life in anything. Them. What about them? Oh, check them out. Maybe not for this video, but maybe for another video. Vintage set of Jack Nicklaus. Oh, guys, throw a like on this video for that. Oh, yes, please. I think, iron-wise, it might have to be, where are they? Might have to be these. I think for that money, these are exceptional value. They've got stickers on. The person who had these before was having lessons. We can get these for £74.99. They are going in the budget bag, and that is the irons ticked off. I'll leave these here next to the shaft bar that we do have with all the expensive shafts that people potentially can put in the drivers. Now, I have seen, I think, the driver I want to go for already. If you talk about budget, you talk about cheap, there's lots of different options, as you can see. I'd go Nike, but I feel like I've kind of overdone Nike just a little bit recently, so I'm not going to go with Nike. You can see my dad in the background here. We're here doing a little bit of videos for him as well. Stay tuned for that, because that's going to be amazing. It might be on the channel already. I'll link it if it is. I've walked into the putters, and I've got no idea why, because I was going to do wedges, but while we're here, what is the cheapest putter we can get? We want a nice budget. It's not going to be a ping, is it? The cheapest putter you can get is not going to be a ping. I'm very overexcited here, and I don't know why. I mean, you've got to like it as well. It's okay buying golf clubs on a budget. I've just realised how fast I've been talking for the last 10 minutes. It's just because I'm excited, that's all it is. But you can see classic putters here, like if you don't want to go and spend a fortune, but you want a really good brand name putter, Gaz has been putting exceptionally well with something like this, and you can get it for £38.99, and it's got a Super Stroke grip on there. Now, I think that's not bad value. Can you go a little bit cheaper? Can we get the putter under 30 quid? That's going to be the goal for me. Do we go dual force? That's going to say, oh, 48, a little bit more. Old White Hot, 40. I think there must be some in here that are under 30 quid. 38.99, it's the same. Might have to just be 38.99. I imagine they're all 38.99. My arm's hurting pulling them all out, so I'm going to leave them there. I've found it, and it is cheap. It's under 50 quid. It's not bad priced. It's not the cheapest, but this has so much sentimental value for me. This might even be my old putter. I've got no idea where it is. I stole this off my brother years ago, and it is, look at this, it's a tailor-made Nubbins. Who remembers this? I had this exact putter as a junior. This putter got me down to a single figure handicap, the tailor-made B9S Nubbins. It's actually not exactly the same. This is a face balanced version with the longer neck on it, but that rubber face used to feel incredible. Have we got some balls to have a roll with the Nubbins? Distance control with this used to be absolutely unbelievable. That is in the bag, Nubbins. This bag is taking shape. We've got the irons, we've got the putter. I'll throw this down exactly with them. Oh, well, that's going chances of it going straight through that gap there. Anyway, wedges. Let's look at the wedges, because this is where a lot of people will try and save money and actually hinder their game. I think wedges, we're going to get the cheapest we can find here, but you want to make sure it's something that's versatile, something you can use, something that's not going to add shots to your game potentially. So, I mean, if you look at Vokeys, you're always going to be safe with a Vokey, but they're not always going to be the cheapest. That you can get for £109.99 with a Project X shaft. That new would have been around 170, maybe a little bit more at the time. Maybe start to look at wear marks on the bottom to see just what you can get for your budget. Look at that, 50. That must be about 50 quid, is it? £26.99, and it's stuck. £26.99 for a 58 degree original Vokey spin milled wedge. You know what? It's in the budget, and that is coming home with me. So we've got the 58, there's a pitching wedge in the set. We probably just need like a 52, because we're going to fill the bag up here. We're not going to scrimp on the clubs themselves, we're going to scrimp on the quality potentially because of the price. So if we look down here and we start looking at 52 degrees, it's basically a case of, do you want to match it with your Vokey? What are these, by the way? Because they look, a brand new set of TaylorMades, just strewn to one side. We'll move you safely out of the way. And I think I'm going to go maybe a A 52 or a 54, because if you think about it, those old irons, the pitching wedge isn't going to be that strongly lofted. It's going to be around 47 or 48, isn't it? So maybe 54. 54 is probably not a bad shout, actually. And if we look at what budget we can get for 54, really easy to look at here because they're all signed and posted. We'll tidy these up from earlier. Sorry about that, guys. 52 or 54. Let's go. Oh, look at that. That is absolutely gorgeous. Old school SM4. Going to be a little 46. 46. Is that budget? Can I get away with saying that's budget? 46 quid? We've saved on the other one? No, it's not. It's not. I'm trying to... I do this all the time. I do this when I'm buying a car or anything. Well, we can squeeze to that and then you have massive anxiety attacks and sleepless nights, and we don't want that with a 54 degree. What about that? That looks like it could be cheap. That is 33. Slightly better. I think we can do better though. What about this? I recognise that font anywhere. That is an old McGregor wedge. This can't be any more than £30. If it is, I'll leave the shop now. £25.99. That goes in alongside the cheap second-hand Vokey, and the grooves are a bit fresher on there, so actually that might be better value than a Vokey just because it's a fresher wedge. So the set's coming together. We have irons, we have wedges, and we have a putter. Small matter now of a, let's go 3 wooden hybrid and then a driver. We're now in the fun part, we're in the exciting part. I think I know what I'm going with. I'm not sure yet about the fairway wood or the hybrid, or do I go one of these? I mean, they're not going to be the cheapest, are they? But if I can get one of these for like 50, that's a little bit more. I think these are going to be a little bit too new for me. Let's see if we can find a little bit of a bargain bucket when it comes to hybrids. Ooh, these, what about that? That could, 48, that's sub 50. That's an early front runner, that's a fly high, 21 degree, plenty of bounce on that, plenty of stuff behind the ball there, very scientific of me, stuff behind the ball, plenty of CG placement in. You can go in there for now, but that could be a winner, could be. Ooh, what's this? This has got a head cover on it, $54.99. I'm really intrigued to see what this is actually. Let's see just what is under this head cover. Oh, look at that! Look at that. I might have to, for 50 quid, I've never even seen one of those, but it looks absolutely gorgeous. You will do, sir. So the set is almost looking complete. We've got the hybrid slash driver iron slash, I'm not really sure what that is. Got the irons, got the wedges, got the putter. When I think fairway woods, and I think of probably older fairway woods that could still be forgiving, these guys were ahead of their time. So we're going to look at ping. I thought about Titleist, and I actually saw a really, really good one. I saw this for $17.99. Now that's all good and well. That is probably one of the cheapest fairway woods in here in stock, but I'm not going to be able to hit that. And again, it's okay buying cheap, but if you want good value, you have to be able to use it. Otherwise, it's not good value. It is just cheap. We come back to the ping wall, and I think, could I go maybe G10, G15? Like we start to move up the rankings to the G20, G25. And then I start looking down and I go, you know what about these? Because these were exceptional back in the day. The G5s, these were what everyone had when I was a junior. Everyone who wanted forgiving golf clubs had a G5. I've had a look at these already. You can get them with this Aldila NV shaft in there, and that's going to set you back $45.99. Now that's not bad. That's not bad. The set's starting to get a little bit more expensive than what I wanted though. So if we look for one that's maybe a little bit not as good a condition, and we slide this down, I can get that for $31.99. Now, I think that is an absolute steal. Yes, it's seen better days, but it's still going to perform as good as when it was new. Whoever's had that, I hope, did have some lessons, unless that's been dragged around a garage. But big thing with this as well, it has a new grip on it. So I don't want to go and spend money on grips. It has a grip on it, and it has a really good Aldila NV shaft. So this for $31.99 is in the bag. Now this is probably the part you've all been waiting for, probably the part why you've tuned in. What driver is he going to buy? He's definitely not going to go left-handed, because that might be cheap but wouldn't make a lot of sense, but there's a fantastic left-handed availability here at Golf Clubs for Cash. One thing which could be good actually are these. Cobra Rad Speed, Senior Flex, so not quite for me, but could be for you. 99.99. Really, really good. Loads of these in stock. Check them out. I mentioned earlier, I'm not going to go for Nike because these might be cheap, but I just never seem to get on with Nike drivers. We've done all of these in the past. Maybe there's a video there, actually, putting all these in a video. If you'd like to see that, let me know. But I've scoured here for a driver which I think is insane. Look at that. Every time I come here, I'm like, how much is that? 85 quid. Do you remember those? I think G-Mac played with that, didn't he? Did he win the US Open with one of those? I think it's designed to look like an old wooden one, isn't it? Anyway, sorry about that. I always just get a little bit sidetracked here, but that's back in there. That a little bit more than what? There's a launcher. I had one of these. How much is that? $28.99. That's cheaper than the club I was going to get. And I had one of these. I think my dad actually gave me this. Did you give me one of these?
Yeah, I had one of them.
That might have to go in. He's busy on the phone, so we'll leave him. Busy man at the ripe old age of old. But, so the driver I was going to get, and this is a bit of a turnout, because I came to the TaylorMade bargain bin here, and originally I thought, oh, R7, I've done a video on that recently. This one's got an Aldilla shaft in, and I can get that for $45.99. That is exceptional value, I think. But then I saw this. Not this. Where is it? This. No, not this. There's so many. Where is it? Has someone bought it already? Awesome. Quad. This. R5, 10, 8.5 degree, Tour Preferred. So, to anyone who doesn't know TaylorMade back in the day, this logo means TP, Tour Preferred. Means it was just had a logo on it basically, but it does have an upgraded shaft in there, and this was going to set me back $32.99. I was dead set on this driver right until we walked past that Cleveland aisle there. Guys, get in the comments below. Let's face it, for 30 quid, which driver would you have out of the Cleveland Launcher, 9.5 titanium, or the old TaylorMade R510 TP? I'm going to go Cleveland because I think I've set up a bag here that is insane value, and unfortunately for now you're going back in there, but we might revisit you for content very, very soon. So that is the bag complete, guys, and these have set us back a total of £290.93. I think to get a set for under £300, driver, hybrid, fairway wood, irons, 2 wedges and an incredible putter is remarkable. Guys, stay tuned. I'm going to come back here today and check out an expensive set. Let's see what we can rack up. Let's see what wonders we can find. And then make sure you stay tuned and hit that subscribe button, because we're going to see just what the score differences are with the budget set and the mega expensive set. Thank you so much for watching. Smash that subscribe button. Make sure you check out the link in the description below for golf clubs for cash. And apart from that, I'll see you all at the same time tomorrow. Goodbye.